Hey everybody who's watching this video. This right here is a part of my book series chapter and on my YouTube page. If you don't know who I am, my name is Fatimah.Mingo. I am a freelance model and a freelance musician. And I just restarted my YouTube channel simply because I just wanted to. And, you know, right now I have an opinion to say about a book that I've been reading, which is called Deception, Lies, and Betrayal by Audrey.Powell. This is a drama-filled urban novel. I am currently on chapter 7. This is how the book currently looks like right now. And this book right now is crazy. I am going to do a whole opinion on chapter 1 to chapter 5. This video may not be that long. It may be about like 10 minutes, 20 minutes long. But yeah, so if you have not read this book and you do want to read this book, you should check her out on her Instagram page right here. You should check her out on her Instagram. DM her. I believe that she does do some sort of shipping if you are not in the same state as her. You should check her out because she has multiple books. And I will be getting multiple books right after I'm done reading this first one. And you should check out my Instagram right here. Okay, let's get to it. Now, in the first chapter, this first chapter talks about somebody named Derek, right? And I'm assuming that Derek, Natasha. The two main characters of this first chapter, Derek and Natasha. So what happened during the first chapter, like the whole opinion about the whole chapter was crazy simply because it starts off with a woman named Natasha stating that she's pregnant to somebody named Derek. And, you know, if you got somebody pregnant, you should have a mature conversation about that. This conversation did not become mature at all. It started off with her stating, Derek, I'm pregnant, and we need to talk about it. And he has a gray BMW, you know. Okay, cool. He's making money, which means he could take care of the kid. But, you know, some people don't want to do that. So, he wasn't too thrilled about being a dad. Now, telling her that she's not listening. And what is she talking about? And she's asking him, what is he talking about? He said he don't want a kid right now. But you having sex. If you don't want a kid, don't have sex. It's that simple. Or use a condom. But it shows that she feels like that she's been lied to and manipulated by him simply because he was talking about having a baby shower. And that's all you want, but it's never been about what she wants. No, he said that's all she wants, but that's never been about what he wants. So clearly there's a miscommunication between both of them. And honestly, she's saying something about blaming. Now, in my personal opinion about that whole thing, about the pregnancy thing and about the fact that he don't want to be a dad, she wants to keep the baby. Honestly, what she should have done, because there is more to this, what she should have done was she should have just said, okay, have the baby and then have him out the life until he feels comfortable coming into the kid's life. If he does not, it is what it is. So, right now, it goes on to they start arguing, right? They're in a car, by the way. As I stated, they're in a car. So they start arguing. Now, she's crying, talking about that he lied. You said you was going to have me. This isn't having me and whatnot. Yeah. And then, what did she do? What did she do? She started fighting him while he was driving, which can cause an accident. Not smart. And he gets out the car. He don't want to put his hands on her. And he's out here talking about, you're going to choose the baby. I'm in the streets. So he's a gang member. Talking about he in the streets. Sad. In the streets, like. Alright. So he talking about he can't tend to her and the child. Her and the little baby. And then she shoots him. That's what I meant by this book is crazy. Just started. And it's crazy. But that's just the first chapter. Now the second chapter, named Serpent, right? Now, they introduce other 3 characters. Now, I'm just assuming Me. I don't know who exactly Me was when I read it, but there's somebody named Elliot and the guys, right? And someone named Cody. So I'm assuming these are friends, right? They find out that what's his man's name? Derek is in the hospital due to the fact that he was just shot by Natasha, which obviously means that he could live or he could die. But I'm gonna go throughout this book and state that he is going to live or die. You may have to watch the rest of the video in order to figure that out. So basically, it shows in the story that we all grew up, Cody, Elliot, Theodore, and I, right? They're all consider themselves brothers, right? So a family, basically. And now they're just looking for where he is, and they're all trying to figure out if Natasha has something to do with it because they were all in a relationship. Natasha and Derek was in a relationship, so obviously the first thing that they would think about is she has something to do with him. And let's see, they go and visit her, right? And mind you, she's still pregnant, right? She's still pregnant. So now he gets in her face. I'm sorry, hold up. Elliot and I believe Cody gets into Natasha's face and asks her, what is wrong with him? You know, why he in the hospital? She's talking about she don't give a fuck. No, he's saying he don't give a fuck. It's his brother, all this other type of things. And yeah. She's saying that Derek is no longer a problem, insinuating she did have something to do with him for the fact that she did shoot him. So he ends up punching her in the stomach, hitting her in the stomach. Elliot has a AK-47 and hitting her in the stomach. This is so sad. She's pregnant and you're gonna hit her in the stomach. You're gonna kill an unborn baby for her actions. Oops, my bad, spoiled it. Alright, so this is your last chance. And they shot her. I believe that she shot her. Yeah, they shot her. So she died. And then they found out that, I believe, his brother, Elliot's brother, which is Derek, did pass away, I believe. So I'm trying to remember. I'm not trying to get myself confused. Because we're already on chapter 3. We got 2 more chapters to go before the video is over. And before I'm done with before I figure out what my opinion is on the first 5 chapters. And then I'll be doing another one right after I'm done with this whole book, because I'm currently on chapter 7 right now. So, you know. Okay, so chapter 3. I already knew what type of timing Elliot was on. I didn't bother to ask what his next step was, right? So we all went to the studio to see if Mason, Derek's brother, heard the news. Okay. Now Mason right now is my favorite character simply because he likes music and he's extremely calm. Now he's been calmer and he likes music. And, you know, when you go through a spiritual awakening, I'm clearly thinking he's going through one, or he has went through one after his brother passed away. You're more calmer now. You see things from a different light. So since he started seeing things from a different light, that's the main reason why I like him. He's more calm. He's not crazy. He ain't here shooting people, killing people and stuff like that and justifying it. Alright, so now Elliot and Mason has a conversation about Mason stating to Elliot he is not for the streets. He's doing music, and Elliot thinks he's pussy whipped. He thinks he has a girlfriend, right? And he's like, he don't even have a girlfriend. He don't have a woman. It's just his music. He's been focusing on that. His emotions go to the words of the music. You know how that goes. So basically, yeah, they all have a whole conversation, and it's kind of turned into a little argument about Mason claiming to Elliot that he has never changed because Elliot is okay with harming with anybody, going back to the streets and harming people for whatever personal reason he may want to harm anyone. Now, yeah. Now you see how the shift dynamic changes in this part on this chapter when it states this. I'm going to stop talking because you don't listen. Do what fits you. Meaning, Mason's just shut down, emotionally shut down. And then Elliot is like, you feel like since you changed, you can give advice now? Who are you? Steve Harvey, Oprah, Ayanna, Van Zant, fix my life. You just in the streets last week, nigga. Right along with Derek. That's a form of jealousy. But, that's a big form of it if you want to look at it like that. But I look at it like that's a form of jealousy, because just because he was doing something bad last week don't mean that he can't change now. That's a good thing that he changed. So here we go with the whole, you don't want them killed and all this other type of stuff. He's realizing that he's angry as well, but he's just handling it a lot more better than how Elliot is handling the situation. So he talks about that he's not even black, that colorless weird shit, but he's light skinned, you're still black. Anyway, he basically they go on, and I guess they're talking about him having sex with a bunch of women and whatnot, and him feeling like he's the man because he has sex with a bunch of women. And we're talking about, what is it called? Not Mason, but Elliot saying this. Mason is just like, whatever, man. That's what I got. This whole vibe from the book, and the book don't even have pictures, and I just noticed that. All right, chapter 4, Diamond in the Rough. Now, the first part is returning live on chapter 12. I'm your news reporter, Jackie Nichols, standing on Brook Avenue. A young soon-to-be mother was found murdered in cold blood in her apartment. Ooh, that means that the cops have found Natasha's body. Now, they found Natasha's body. That means that Derek or whoever's DNA was on her, because she was shot and killed, and other things has happened to her that I am not going to say in this book. In this video. So yeah, she the mother was crying, you know how that goes, yeah, sad. And they out here laughing. And they out here saying that poor Natasha, like I guess Theodore said that, which was one of the friends. And he's like, ain't no poorness and all this other type of stuff. Like, he didn't feel bad for her because he killed her. But if he killed her, does that mean that if he was to get caught, would he go to jail for it? Because he don't feel remorseful. And the person who killed her was, what is this man's name? Elliot. Sad, 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 sad. And he was upset. Elliot's upset because he felt like she was doing too much. And he was supposed to be in the streets getting the paper, meaning money. Meaning being in the streets, in an unsafe place, getting money. That's so sad. So Theodore's talking about he's a different type of evil. You just come up with wicked shit to do to people, It's not a flex. It's not cute. It's not funny. I don't understand why people would do something like that. But, ain't nothing cute about it. And then you got the whole conversation about how he's not babysitting. And then his friends are saying, you were never going to get married. And he said, until she's worthy of a ring or worthy of my time. And you got other friends saying, every girl is not the same. We're young. We were young back then. And he was like, he lost his virginity at 13. He didn't even know what he was doing. It's just a constant justification for his toxicity about what he did to her. And then he was talking about his best friend, Elliot. I think Elliot was talking about his best friend. Let me see. Yeah. Elliot was talking about the best friend that he had a crush on, which is named Angelis, who had light eyes. Very beautiful person. She got her goals set. She's a businesswoman and a model. She's chilling, living life and whatnot. I think so. No. Wait, I got the wrong person. Met Trey with the best friend of Angeles. That's what I meant. Okay. So basically, long story short, they all have a conversation. And Elliot texts Trey, as you state right here. I don't know if you could see that, but that's what it says. Elliot is texting Trey about going to Natasha's crib and cleaning up his DNA. So then he's like, why didn't you just do it when you were there? And why are you asking Theodore to do it? He said he's going to be scared to do it. That's why I asked you. And he was like, he didn't even reply back. And, you know, so let's just get back to the part of what DNA was talking about, right? So, yeah, you go on, and it goes on to talk about their lifestyle, about one of them is a vegan now, and, you know, basically everybody is changing, except Elliot. Now, yeah. So then, let's go here. Yeah. I'm gonna just keep going, and I'm gonna go to the last chapter, chapter 5, which is detective, which states about the detectives that are going to find the what's it called? Find who killed Natasha, which you should already know it was Derek who shot him. But you know, obviously, some people don't really like try to come to terms with what they did wrong, so they blame other people. That's a little, you know, insight of what's gonna happen. So, the detectives are talking about what happened, and yeah, you know, the detective's name is Asha and Rayshawn Willis. Now, chapter 5 is only 2 pages, so I'm gonna just go to chapter 6 and leave this video at that. So basically, yeah, so I guess what happened was he got stopped by the cops. Yeah. Trey got stopped by the cops because Elliot left the murder weapon in the back of the trunk. You know what that means, right? The cop obviously knew that that was the car that was at Natasha's place, which means that obviously he looked like he did it, but he did not do anything. Elliot was the one who killed the person, who killed him, who killed, you know, who killed Natasha and R.A.P.E. her. So he looks bad. He looks like he did all that, but he didn't do anything. So basically now he's in jail. Yeah, the officer told him to step out of the car. He looked at the trunk. He was like, this is the car, you know, that was at the place. You guys was just on the news. We need to know why why you driving around with the suspect car. Makes you look guilty. And then at the part of the video, not the video, of the part of the book, it states that towards the end is something that I liked, is where he was talking to a cop while he was sitting in the prison cell. Not the actual prison cell, but like the prison cell of where you go before you go to the actual one. He was sitting to the prison cell and he was talking to a cop who wasn't being disrespectful to him, and he said this. The cop asked him, what are you here for? And he was like, for driving around in a stolen car, which is at the scene when Natasha was murdered, but I had no clue about that. And then the officer was like, that's crazy. Friends will set you up and play victim, right? Now, I like that part because that's not his friend. Clearly, that's not his friend, because if they were all going through some spiritual awakening, they were all going through something good and great, and Elliot was the only one that was against it and was trying to pursue them and try to tell them to go towards the street, and was okay with raping women and okay with hurting women and okay with beating women regardless of what they did or what they did not do, and it was a justification, he was never a true friend because that's his character. Now, I'm done with all the chapters, the little summary of all the chapters. Now, my opinion about this book is really amazing. Like, you should really get this book. You should get all of the books that she has. I hope she makes a movie out of this, because this is amazing. This is something that I enjoyed reading. That's why I didn't stop on chapter 5. I enjoyed reading this book. This book is extremely amazing. I like the plot. I like the characters. I like all the characters because they all have a background to them. They all have something to them. Even the ones that are bad and evil, they all have something to them. I really like that. I really like how this is. And I'm currently on chapter 7, which is called Freedom. Most likely I would be making another video about this book next. No, when I'm done reading it. I want to finish reading it and then make my true, full opinion about it. Right now, I'm making an opinion based off of chapter 1 to chapter 6. And this book is extremely interesting. I like it. I really like this book, and I really, truly enjoy it. So, all I gotta say is that purchase this book from her. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and you know, check out my other videos, check out my YouTube shorts. My music, on the other hand, I am going to be focusing on creating more better music. I'm going to be focused on creating more covers, more song covers, more acoustic covers and whatnot, so you guys can hear my singing voice and me playing the guitar. And I hope to see you guys soon. Thank you. Please subscribe, and see you guys soon.